What if I told you the Emperor of Rome had a morning routine stronger than any modern productivity guru? Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, but his greatest battle wasn't against armies. It was against his own mind. The first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself. Plato. Marcus understood this deeply. Every morning while the world still slept, he trained not his body but his spirit. He woke at 5 a.m. not to check notifications, not to chase dopamine, but to build an inner fortress no storm could break. He wrote, he reflected, he practiced discomfort. Why? Because he believed if you win the morning, you win the day. If you win the day, you win your life. That's not motivation. That's strategy. Even Steve Jobs once said, the most powerful person is the one who controls their mornings. And today we're about to uncover exactly how Marcus did it. The secret 5 a.m. routine. The 8 habits that shaped an emperor's mindset. Habits you can apply starting tomorrow morning to begin mastering your own mind. So watch closely, because just one of these habits might change the way you wake up forever. Habit 1. The cold start. What if I told you that the Emperor of Rome began every morning with discomfort? No luxury, no distractions, just cold water and silence. Marcus Aurelius believed that pleasure steals discipline, and discipline builds freedom. Say it with me, comfort is the enemy. Imagine waking up in a palace surrounded by power, but choosing to face cold water as your first act. Marcus wasn't training the body. He was strengthening the mind. And modern science confirms this. Studies from the University of California show that cold exposure can increase dopamine levels by up to 200% over the next 6 hours. Not from pleasure, but from resilience. The shock of cold wasn't punishment. It was a message to the mind, I am in control. In his diary, Marcus wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." He didn't wait for motivation. He created a battlefield so his mind could prove its strength. So here's your challenge. Tomorrow morning before touching your phone, take a cold shower for 30 seconds, sit in silence and breathe for 2 minutes, and keep your phone away for the first 30 minutes of your day. These aren't tasks. They are signals to your brain messages saying, I command my life, not my comfort. Now take a breath with me. A quick reset. Inhale discipline. Exhale excuses. Again inhale strength. Exhale fear. Your mind is listening. Marcus believed that luxury makes the mind soft. Stoics trained through voluntary discomfort, fasting, silence, cold walks, because when difficulty arrived, they were already ready. One Stoic practice was called Premeditation malorum, preparing for the bad. They didn't run from hardship, they rehearsed it, because pain loses power when it is expected. Tomorrow morning, ask yourself, what if life isn't punishing me, but training me? That is how an emperor thinks. Here's the real secret. The biggest enemy of discipline is comfort, disguised as happiness. Research shows that 78% of people check their phone within the first 3 minutes of waking up. 62% stay in bed after the alarm rings. That means most people lose the battle before the day even begins. But not you, not anymore. Because now you understand the first 10 minutes of your morning decide the next 10 hours of your mind. So say it with me now, I will earn comfort. I will not escape into it. I will command my morning before the world commands me. I will face discomfort and rise stronger. This is not just habit number 1. This is the gate. If you don't walk through it, the other habits will never take root. But if you conquer the cold start, you earn the right to move forward. And that leads us to habit number 2, the 7-minute Stoic journal, what Marcus called mental armor before battle. If you're ready to protect your mind, then your next step begins now. Habit 2, 7-minute journaling. Stoic format. Marcus Aurelius began every morning with ink and intention. He didn't write to impress anyone. He wrote to prepare for war, not the war outside, but the war within. His journal wasn't decoration, it was armor. He once wrote, "The nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength." That is the core of this habit, mental clarity before chaos strikes. Modern psychology agrees. According to Harvard researchers, people who journal for just 7 minutes a morning show a 27% decrease in anxiety throughout the day. Why? Because when you prepare your mind, the world loses its power over you. So here is the Stoic format exactly the way Marcus practiced it. Question 1. What could go wrong today? Question 2, how will I respond with reason, not emotion? Question 3, what virtue will I practice? Will it be patience, courage, humility, or restraint? Notice there's no question about goals, achievements, or results. Marcus focused on character over outcome, because the Stoics believe virtue is the only true measure of success. Let's test your mind right now. Take a breath and imagine your day ahead. Ask yourself what challenges might appear. A difficult coworker, a traffic jam, a failure, a health concern. Now say it with me. I will not react, I will respond. This is what Marcus trained every morning, not to eliminate difficulty, but to face it on his own terms. Here's the power of this practice. When you name your fears, they shrink. When you expect problems, they don't break you. Studies show that people who anticipate setbacks are 40% more resilient emotionally than people who believe the day should be easy. The Stoics didn't pray for lighter burdens. They built stronger backs. Now take another breath with me, a dopamine reset. Inhale reason, exhale panic. Again, inhale clarity, exhale chaos. Your mind is aligning. Your resolve is forming. You're building mental armor before stepping into battle. And here's your challenge tomorrow morning. Grab a notebook and write just one sentence for each question. No perfection, no pressure, just awareness. Because awareness is the first step to power. Marcus believed that a man's worth is measured by the things he lets go of. So when you write, don't hold back. Empty your head, lay down the weight, and prepare your mind for clarity. This 7-minute exercise is not about controlling the world, it's about controlling how you meet it. This is how an emperor thought. This is how he ruled, not with ego, but with reason. And reason is the sword that cuts through every illusion. So let me ask you, are you ready to journal like a Stoic? Are you ready to enter the day with armor on your mind and purpose in your breath? If so, then you have just unlocked the second habit of total mental mastery. But be warned, tomorrow will test you. And when problems appear, your reaction could define your entire day. That's why our next habit is crucial. It is the art of expecting difficulty before it arrives. It's called Premeditatio Malorum, the premeditation of challenges. Habit number 3 begins now. Habit 3, the premeditation of challenges. Marcus Aurelius didn't wait for problems to appear. He faced them before they arrived. Every morning he practiced Premeditatio Malorum, the premeditation of adversity. He visualized every challenge he might face that day: insults, delays, failures, betrayal, loss. Not to become afraid, but to become unshakable. He wrote, when you wake up, prepare. You will meet selfish people, ungrateful people, aggressive people, dishonest people. But remember, they act that way because they do not know good from evil. Marcus didn't hope for a perfect day. He trained for a real one. And psychology proves this works. Studies from Stanford University show that people who anticipate setbacks are 40% more resilient under pressure. Their cortisol levels drop faster, they recover from stress faster, and they respond with reason, not reaction. Say it with me, I will not hope for an easy day. I will prepare for a real one. Now let's test it right now. Close your eyes for 3 seconds and imagine a delayed flight, a rude message, a sudden problem at work. Someone misunderstands you, or maybe you disappoint yourself. Stoicism says, don't fear it, greet it. Because when difficulty arrives, and it always does, you will be ready. Not angry, not shocked, not afraid. Ready. Dopamine reset, breathe with me now. Inhale acceptance, exhale resistance. Again, inhale clarity, exhale fear. Marcus believed the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Think about that. The problem is not blocking you. The problem is the path. Modern Navy SEALs use a similar tactic. They say slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. In chaos, slow down. In fear, stand tall. In discomfort, breathe deeper. Here's your challenge. At the start of your day, write down one thing that could go wrong. Next, write one way you could respond with reason instead of emotion. Not to stop the problem, but to soften its power. Because once you expect it, it cannot break you. Say it with me, I will not run from storms. I will walk into them with calm. Because fear is a choice, and so is courage. This is habit number 3, and it is powerful. But a warrior must do more than think, a warrior must move. That leads us to the next step. Not just mental control, but physical mastery. How do you train your body to obey the mind and not rule it? To answer that, we enter habit number 4, controlled movement. The art of moving with intention, the way an emperor walks through his empire. Are you ready? Habit 4, controlled movement. Marcus Aurelius didn't lift heavy weights, but he trained something far more important: his physical presence, his posture, his breath, his movement. Because he believed the body should serve the mind, not rule it. Every morning he stood still, straightened his spine, and walked with deliberate steps. This may seem simple, but in Stoicism, every step is a statement: I am in control. I move with intention. I act, not react. Modern neuroscience confirms this. Studies from Cambridge University show that posture influences mindset. Good posture reduces stress hormones by up to 25% and increases confidence and clarity. How you walk affects how you think. Your body is not just a vehicle, it is a signal to your mind. Say it with me: I stand tall so my thoughts can stand tall. I control my breath so fear cannot control me. Here's a practice Marcus would approve: 5 minutes every morning. No phone, no noise. Just awareness. Straighten your spine. Slow your breathing. Walk with intention as if your next step shapes your destiny. Because it does. Try this out tomorrow. Slow, deep breathing, 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. Hands relaxed, shoulders open, a silent mantra in your mind. I choose presence over panic. Dopamine reset right now. Let's breathe together. Inhale strength. Exhale tension. Again. Inhale discipline. Exhale distraction. Your mind is sharpening, your presence is returning. Marcus wrote, "To live each day as though your last, without hurry, without anger, without pretense, that is perfect wisdom. And movement is the gateway to that wisdom. Not hurried movement, but controlled movement." Think about it. The average person checks their phone 96 times a day, walks with their head down, and lets their body follow stress instead of intention. But not you, not anymore. Because now every step can be a declaration of strength. Not power over others, but power over yourself. So ask yourself, when I walk, do I lead my body, or does my body lead me? That question reveals your level of discipline. And this brings us to the next breakthrough. Because Marcus believed that clarity comes not from doing more, but from doing less. He practiced something powerful, something rare, something most people are too distracted to even attempt. It's called the rule of one. Not 10 tasks, not 5 priorities, just one essential mission per day. Habit number 5 begins now. Habit 5, rule of one. Marcus Aurelius ruled an entire empire, yet each morning he focused on only one essential task. Not 5, not 10, just one. Because he believed if you seek tranquility, do less. Or rather, do what's essential. The modern world tells you to multitask, to rush, to chase productivity like a race. But science now proves something Stoics knew 2,000 years ago: multitasking destroys focus. A study from Stanford University found that multitaskers are 40% less productive, retain less memory, and experience more anxiety than those who focus on a single task. Your brain is a sword, and a sword is sharp only when it hits one target at a time. So here is the Stoic method, the rule of one. Each morning ask yourself, what is the one task that would make today meaningful if I completed it? Write it down. Only one. Then defend your attention like an emperor defending his empire. Say it with me: one mission, one focus, one victory today. Because when everything matters, nothing matters. Marcus understood something profound. The enemy of clarity is excess. He simplified. He eliminated the noise. He trained his will like a laser, striking only where it matters. Now take a breath. Inhale clarity. Exhale chaos. Again. Inhale focus. Exhale distraction. Your mind is aligning. Here's your practice tomorrow morning. Write down one essential task. Set a timer for 30 focused minutes. No phone, no notifications. When distractions appear, whisper to yourself, "This can wait. My mission cannot." And if you complete that one task, no matter what else happens that day, you have already won. Marcus wrote, "A man's worth is no greater than his ambitions." But it's not about many ambitions. It's about one ambition carried with full devotion. That is where mental mastery begins. So let me ask you, what is your one task tomorrow? What single action deserves your full presence? If you answer that question with honesty, you will feel power return to your life. But knowledge alone is not enough. A warrior must sharpen his weapon. Marcus did something every morning that most people never do anymore. He fed his mind before he faced the world. That leads us now to habit number 6, the hour of study, where the mind becomes sharp and wisdom replaces noise. Are you ready to train your mind like an emperor? Habit 6, the hour of study. Before ruling Rome, Marcus Aurelius ruled his mind. Every morning he spent time reading philosophy, not for entertainment, but for training, because he believed the mind once disciplined becomes unbreakable. He understood something that modern society has forgotten: you cannot lead others until you learn to lead yourself. And you cannot lead your mind if you do not feed it with wisdom instead of noise. Science now agrees. A study from the University of Sussex found that just 6 minutes of focused reading can reduce stress levels by up to 68%, calming the heart rate and improving concentration. Not scrolling, not swiping, reading. Because the mind grows only when challenged by depth, not distracted by trivia. So here is the Stoic practice, the hour of study. Before the world attacks your attention, you sharpen your sword with knowledge. This could be 10 pages of a book, 20 minutes of an audiobook. Studying one life principle deeply, no rush, no skipping, just focused absorption as if wisdom is oxygen. Say it with me: I feed my mind before I feed my worries. I begin the day with strength, not noise, because mental mastery is built on mental nourishment. Marcus wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts, and your thoughts are shaped by what you consume. You become what you feed your mind. You become what you repeatedly focus on." Now take a breath, inhale knowledge, exhale distraction, again inhale wisdom, exhale noise. Your mind is awakening, you can feel it. Here's your challenge for tomorrow's 5 a.m. routine. Spend at least 20 minutes learning something valuable, not entertainment. Insight. Choose a topic that strengthens your character. Discipline, leadership, philosophy, health, courage. And when you read, ask yourself one question: how can this make me better today? This question transforms information into transformation. And remember, this entertainment consumes you. Education strengthens you. You can choose which path your mind walks. But Marcus didn't stop at knowledge. Knowledge without service can turn into ego, and ego is the silent destroyer of every strong mind. That leads us now to one of his most powerful teachings: what turns anxious people into leaders and leaders into legends. Habit number 7, service over ego. Are you ready to step beyond yourself? Habit 7, service over ego. Marcus Aurelius never asked, "What do I want today?" He asked, "What does the world need from me today?" That one shift from ego to purpose is the difference between anxiety and leadership. He wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." This was not philosophy, this was a command. Marcus believed that ego shrinks the mind, but service expands it beyond fear. When you stop asking, "Why me?" and start asking, "How can I help you step into strength?" Modern psychology proves this. Studies from the University of North Carolina show that people who perform one small act of service per day experience 25% less anxiety and 3 times more emotional resilience than those who focus only on personal gain. Think about that: helping others literally changes the brain. Dopamine reset. Breathe with me. Inhale purpose. Exhale ego. Again, inhale service. Exhale fear. You can feel it, your focus expanding beyond yourself. Marcus Aurelius led the Roman Empire, yet he wrote, "A man's life is what his thoughts make of it. We are made for cooperation, like feet, like hands. Like eyelids, we are made to work together." He didn't see service as sacrifice. He saw it as strength. Here's your challenge for tomorrow. Do one small act of service before the world asks anything of you. Send a message of gratitude. Help someone without expecting thanks. Share knowledge, encourage a friend. Be present for someone who needs it. No ego, no reward, just intentional kindness as training for character. Say it with me: I grow when I serve. I do not seek praise, I seek purpose. My ego divides me, but service connects me. Marcus didn't need statues or fame. He needed clarity. He needed discipline. He needed purpose stronger than self-interest. And so do we. But before this day ends, there is one final habit, one final test, one final ritual that Marcus Aurelius used to judge whether he lived with virtue or with regret. It happens not at sunrise, but at sunset. And it is perhaps the most powerful habit of all. Habit number 8, the evening reflection, the final battle of the mind. Are you ready to face yourself? Habit 8, evening reflection, unshakable, stoic. As the sun sets and the distant noise of the world begins to fade, something sacred begins. Marcus Aurelius performed one of his most trusted rituals, not as an emperor, but as a human being. The day was a battlefield, but the evening was the judgment. Not from generals or citizens, not from advisors or history, but from the one voice you can never escape, your own. The Stoics believed that an unexamined life is a wasted life, and Marcus understood that without reflection, there can be no growth, only repetition. He never feared failure. What he feared was being unaware, being unconscious, living a day without meaning. And so before his eyes closed each night, he opened his journal and asked himself 3 questions, questions that weren't meant to torment, but to transform. Question 1, what did I do well today? Question 2, where did I fall short and why? And question 3, did I act according to virtue? Because for Marcus and for every true Stoic, success was not defined by fortune or victory, but by character. And character is not found in your reputation, it is found in your reflection. He wrote, "Let not your mind run on what you lack, but on what you have already." This was his antidote to anxiety. The Stoics believed that anxiety is born when your mind lives in tomorrow, but strength is built when your awareness stays with today. Modern psychology has now validated this ancient practice. Researchers at Harvard University discovered that just 5 minutes of deliberate reflection each night can increase learning speed by 23%, enhance memory retention, and reduce emotional volatility over time. Why? Because reflection turns experience into wisdom. It converts mere activity into growth. As the American philosopher William James once said, human beings can alter their lives by altering their attitudes of mind. And reflection is the turning point. It is not weakness, it is evolution. Now take a breath with me. Inhale truth. Exhale denial. Again, inhale growth. Exhale judgment. Your mind is listening. Your awareness is rising. Marcus believed that the quality of the mind at night determines the strength of the mind at dawn. That is why this habit matters. He was not chasing perfection. He was searching for alignment. Abraham Lincoln once said, "I am not bound to win, but I am bound to be true." That is the heart of this habit, not victory, truth. When Marcus reflected at night, he wasn't searching for guilt, he was searching for clarity. He believed that mistakes are not signs of weakness, but opportunities for course correction. Like a sailor adjusting his compass, like a sculptor removing excess stone to reveal a greater form. Progress comes not from never falling, but from never hiding. As psychologist Carl Jung wrote, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." Reflection makes the unconscious conscious. That is its power. So tonight I challenge you, don't run from your day. Don't escape into noise or distraction. Instead, review your day with courage. Not perfection, not judgment, but honesty. Try this practice. Turn off your phone. Sit in silence. Ask the 3 Stoic questions. 1 sentence each is enough. What did I do well? Where did I fail? And what did it teach me? Did I act with courage, patience, justice, or discipline? This is not selfish. This is self-mastery. Steve Jobs once said, "You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backward." That is what reflection gives you, a chance to connect the dots and see the map of your life take shape. This is habit number 8, and it may be the most powerful one of all. Without reflection, we repeat. With reflection, we evolve. The happiest people do not have fewer problems. They simply have greater clarity. They have a lens through which meaning becomes visible. And this habit is that lens. Now, one final breath. Inhale awareness. Exhale regret. The night is not the end. It is preparation for the next beginning. If you found even one habit valuable, don't just admire Marcus Aurelius. Become like him. Try the 5 a.m. Stoic routine tomorrow. Subscribe to Making Life Better because this is just the beginning. Comment one word below. The word is discipline, because discipline is where every transformation begins. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Marcus Aurelius.